Good morning. Jim Moran, nice to see you up at this ungodly hour. And hello to all of you who are here. I see Steve Walker and Rhonda Scott Merrick and Diane Desmond and Lori Payne. I hope your gig went well, Lori. And Jim, as I said, is here, and Terry St. James in Montreal, and Eben Atwater in the Northwest. Donna Greenberg is back home in Philadelphia, and Jambone Jim is here on YouTube. And Tom Dietz is here as well, and Warren and Janelle. And Steve Walker said he's doing his concert this Wednesday, which I will mention during the concert announcements, if I remember. But I'll certainly mention it Wednesday, which is before he does it. So put it on your calendar, though, by all means. So I am here with my little dog, Charlie. He's in his flopped out, inert dog posture. There he is for you. And he is, even in his flattened out form, he doesn't look too chubby anymore. I have to weigh him again, see if he's holding his weight down. But he is a beautiful boy, and he was a pretty good dog yesterday. Aside from the fact that he has suddenly discovered a penchant for eating shit, which he never did for the first 2 years. And then it's like he suddenly looked down one day and said, I thought this was just a walkway, but it's actually a buffet. So now I have to keep an eye on him, and I'm trying to train him to leave it alone when I tell him to. The trials and tribulations of being a dog daddy. Linda Worster's here, Carol Pred, Debbie Moore, Ken Nashif, Mike Verbick, David Arthur Radcliffe in the UK, and Jim Moran, blah, blah, blah. Deb Lebby Clark is here in Ambler, PA, and Denny Oliver out there in Kent, Ohio, rain-drenched Ohio, he says. Debbie Daniels is here. And today is Woodstock's 6th birthday. I was going to go, Woodstock wasn't until the summer, but I gather that Woodstock is your dog or cat. And like that, Rhonda Scott Merrick I said hi to. I said hi to everybody on there so far, I think, unless I missed you, which we get to that later. So I will clunk with you. I'm clunking with water because I've already had enough coffee for the morning. There's the clunkophonic mug, given to me by Ann Mintz, who hosted a lovely house concert Friday night, and I got the perk of getting to play with my good buddy Reggie Harris. Reggie did a terrific show, and he had me do a couple songs to open up, and then I played backup guitar for him on a lot of it. And in the spirit, as Anne said to me later, in the spirit of the Cherry Tree, which was the club where many of us met, she asked me to run the door, because her husband Cliff is out of town, so she had to mind the dogs, and so I ran the door, and then after I ran the door, I got up and performed. And that was the way the Cherry Tree was. We were very non stratified. Everybody did the work. So I see Kathy Marzik is here, and Marlene Burke, and my friend Cozy Sheridan, who will be doing her show this Tuesday. I'll mention that again during the announcements. And Kate Mack and Ron and Aretta, and like that. So let's get to a little music here. I don't like to put my finger picks on until after I've clonked, because it's hard to clunk with a ceramic mug while wearing finger picks. It's something you probably never even thought about in your life, and neither did I until I started doing these concerts. This is a Reverend Gary Davis tune, originally a Jelly Roll Morton tune, probably in a much more obscene fashion. You know, I woke up this morning about 4:30. The hesitation blues was knocking at my door. Tell me how long must I wait? Well, can I get you now, or must I hesitate? And I actually do wake up at 4 in the morning because Charlie the dog wakes me up at 4 in the morning and makes me take him outside. So I feel for the author of this song. You know, a nickel is a nickel and a dime is a dime. I got a house full of children and not one of them's mine. Tell me how long must I wait? Where can I get you now, or must I hesitate? Now the eagle on the dollar says in God we trust. Woman says she wants a man, but she wants to see that dollar first. How long must I wait? Well, can I get you now, or must I hesitate? You know, if the river was whiskey and I was a duck, I would dive to the bottom, and I don't believe I ever would come back up. How long must I wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? I ain't never been to heaven, but I've been told that St. Peter taught the angels how to jelly roll. Tell me how long must I wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? Hesitate here. You know, I ain't no doctor, I ain't no doctor's son, but I could kill a few cases with you till the doctor comes. Tell me how long must I wait? Where can I get you now, or must I hesitate? Yes, I woke up this morning about 4:30. The hesitation blues was just a knocking at my door. How long must I wait? Where can I get you now, or must I hesitate? The Hesitation Blues. from the Reverend Gary Davis via Jelly Roll Morton. And one of the things I tried to do after I met the Reverend Gary Davis and learned some things from him, he's right behind me there on the wall in that black and white photo. I hung out with a lot of other people who studied with him and learned as much as I could about the way he played guitar. This was all before YouTube, and there was some video, but not till much later. And my goal was trying to learn how to do what I would call speaking Reverend Gary Davis-ese, kind of understanding the language of how he played certain things, at least the chord shapes he used, and then being able to play his songs in my own way, which is what he always encouraged people to do, is to find your own way. And I was just remembering the other day when I met him, at one point during the time I was hanging out with him, he said, well, play me something, let me see how you play the guitar, because I had asked him a bunch of guitar questions. And I played him. I was already not a bad guitarist. And he just listened a little bit, and he said, and I was asking him if he could teach me more stuff, and he just said, oh, you'll be all right, you're doing okay, like that. And I thought, on one hand, yeah, that's great. On the other hand, come on, teach me some stuff. And then later that day, he sat with me for 2 hours and showed me stuff. It was lovely. Anyhow, let me see where we are here. I see Jeanette Hubner, Karen Beatty, my dear friend, Neil Tapp, 12's Neil, and Lori Payne I said hi to. I said hi to all you guys. Mike Carr is here. I will say hi to him. Hello, Mike Carr. And Tom Dietz, Karen Beatty. I think Rita Rubin, my dear friend Rita Rubin from Kent. Rita, I'm going back to Kent in May. And Michael Miller is here. And I think I said hi to most of the rest of you if I missed anybody. Dave Van Allen is here on YouTube. I apologize. John Boehmer's here, and Chris too. Oh, maybe only Chris, I don't know. So, and Jeanette Pasqua and Rich Pasqua. And I think I said hello to everyone else. Okay, let's get to work. So next up, Helene Tober Fowler, I don't see here right now. I do see David and Katha, my good friends who are up in Connecticut. And Helene requested, I think she requested this song. She said, the song you wrote about Charlie. And there's only one song for Charlie. She might have meant Two Old Dogs, which I wrote about Suki, but that's her problem, because this is the one I wrote about Charlie. And it's called one of his nicknames, which is the Flop-Eared Cannonball. It's a very descriptive nickname. Ellen Wolf, I see on there, hello, and like that. So here it is, the Flop-Eared Cannonball. 3, 4, 1. The Flop-Eared Cannonball. My little boy, my little maniac. And I hope that captures some of Charlie's insouciance. Hey, my buddy Marcia Ewell out there in Moab, Utah is here. She said, I woke up this morning, I had 2 ICE agents knocking on my door. I hope that's just a joke, dear. And John Johnson, JJ is here. He's another former Kent guy, he and Sylvia. And Diane Desmond, I think I said hi to. All the Kent people are saying hi to each other now. And like that. Jim Greco, late. Tim G on YouTube. Dave Mason in Scotland. Okay, back to it. So the next song, this is not especially for Jim Moran, but certainly for him, among others, because baseball season has started. And this song was written by my old friend Jeff Deichman, who lived in the Baltimore and D.C. area for many years and now lives, I believe, in Point Reyes, California, up north of San Francisco. Wonderful songwriter, and this is a perfect example of that. Gonna sing you a song about Shoeless Joe Jackson. He played for Chicago way back in the teens. And some say he was guilty, and some say he wasn't. But most everybody says he was the greatest that's ever been. You won't find his name down in that Hall of Fame. They kicked him out of baseball because they said he took a bribe. Said he took that money on those games in Cincinnati. He might have had to tell that lie just to keep himself alive. Say it ain't so, Joe, the kids in the bleachers cried. Say it ain't so, Joe, and keep our hopes alive. Now Charles Comiskey, he ran a tight-fisted business. Treated all his players just like beggars at the gate. That stands to reason, for to crown his perfect season, they'd be tempted to throw it just to set the old man straight. So Seacott and Gandil got it all set with the gamblers. $100,000, a few bucks against disgrace. And when Joe learned about it, well, he tried to let it out. But old man Comiskey slammed the door right in his face. Say it ain't so, Joe, the kids in the bleachers cried. Say it ain't so, Joe, and keep our hopes alive. Now you can read the records, you can sort through all the papers, but in that 1919 series, it was the Reds 5-3, and believe the bosses, or the gamblers, or the writers, the big money that condemned him, or the jury that set him free. It's just a game, someone had to take the blame. Hell, it might as well have been Jackson. He couldn't even read or write. But Joe's resting easy, though they wrote he threw the series. He played without an error, batted .375. Say it ain't so, Joe, the kids in the bleachers cried. Say it ain't so, Joe, keep keep our hopes alive. Say it ain't so, Joe. Say it ain't so, Joe. Keep our hopes alive. Shoeless Joe Jackson, written by Jeff Deichman, my old friend. And he was, in the early days, he was a performing and songwriting partner with Mary Chapin Carpenter when she was getting started in that Washington, D.C., Northern Virginia scene. So, a wonderful guy. I wish I was in better touch with him. We have exchanged the occasional email over the years. So it is announcement time now, and let me run through the gigs first. So on May 4th, I will be at the Kent Stage with Magpie in Kent, Ohio, commemorating the 55th anniversary of the Kent State murders, in which the Ohio National Guard murdered 4 students and injured, I think, about 17 or others, maybe more than that. And that seems to be the way the government is headed again now, so it's a shame. But we will be there reminding people that happened. And hopefully I will be able to get together with some of you guys who live in Ohio and raise a glass or whatever we can do. In June, I'll be at Steve Kaufman's camp from June 8th till the 14th in Maryville, Tennessee. I just posted something about that on my page, so you can look it up. I will be playing with Magpie at Old Songs up there in New York. I forget the name of the town, but it's upstate. Kathy Marzik can tell us because she often goes there, and I hope to see her there if she goes this year. And that is June 27th through 29th. I'll be at Sam W., my home camp, Summer Acoustic Music Week, in New Hampshire from July 13th through the 19th. Those are the gigs. The Invisibles, George Young of Winter Garden, Florida, and maybe Judith Fox, maybe Joel Biget, maybe Mario Pru. And then there's a PayPal link, as always, here, right there where my left index finger is pointing. PayPal and Venmo, if you'd like to contribute a little something to the Charlie the Dog Management Fund. Always welcome. Actually, we use those funds to keep the lights on here, to pay the Zoom bill and the eCam bill and this bill and that bill. And we appreciate any contributions, but never expect them. Not that we're pessimists, we just don't like to lay anything on people. When I say we, me and Charlie and I talk this stuff over extensively. So that's that. The guitar today is the Pre-War Guitars Company Double Aught 28 in Brazilian rosewood and Adirondack spruce. And you may, if you look on my page, if you scroll back far enough, I posted a little short reel of Molly Tuttle, the great young flat-picking guitarist, opening the box on her third Pre-War Guitars Company guitar, which is a double O like this one, but it's a mahogany one. So that was that. And then the schedule. So I am on now, as you may have noticed. I say that always because I know Janelle gets a kick out of that. And I don't know who's on Monday. Somebody will put it up. I suspect I do know, but I'm not announcing it. And on Tuesday, Cozy will be back at 10:30 Eastern Time with Charlie Koch, and they're going to be home by then. They've been touring on the West Coast this week in the Northwest, and I hope some of you have seen them up there. And then Wednesday, I will be back at my usual 3 o'clock time, and Steve Walker will be doing a Wednesday evening concert, his monthly concert at 7 p.m. That's all the announcements for now. And I just realized I got out of order. I didn't do things in the order I intended to do them in, which is okay, you know. Ray Charles tune, and my version is somewhat influenced, used to be heavily influenced. Kathy Marsick, Altamont, New York. That's what I thought. I couldn't remember the name. I often forget names now. My guitar arrangement used to be more heavily influenced. Now it's a little less heavily influenced, but Steve Mann, his footprints are all over everyone who ever heard him. Their playing becomes imbued with some of his stuff. So, Drown in My Own Tears. Now it brings a tear to my eye when I begin to realize that I've cried so much since you've been gone, and it just keeps on raining on and on and on. Now I sit and I cry just like a little child. These tears of mine they're running wild. And if you don't think you're gonna come home soon, I'm gonna drown. Yes, I'm gonna drown in my own tears. Now you know it's true. That into each life where some rain must pour. Well, I'm so blue here without you, babe, that it just keeps on raining more and more and more. Well, I've been so blue and so all alone, ever since I woke up and found you gone. And if you don't think you're gonna come home soon, I'm gonna drown in my own tears. I'm gonna drown in my own tears. I'm gonna drown, running out of air here. Drown, drowned in my own tears. Drown in My Own Tears from Ray Charles. I forget who actually wrote it. And that last lick is note for note Steve Mann. But the rest of it is just influenced by Steve Mann. Let me see if I'm missing anybody who might have hopped on here. I think I've said hi. Oh, Michael Tierson is here. And yes, I've been known to put people to sleep with my music, Mike. Okay, I think I said hi to most of you. If I miss anybody, I am sorry. Stephen Salmon, I just saw him on here. I think he might have just come in. And like that. So, somebody, I think it might have been Lori Payne, requested Sunday morning. And my old friend Alan Kane is here on YouTube. Alan, I hope you're doing well. Here we go, Sunday morning. Sunday morning, just to calm things down a little bit. And I have one more for you today. This one was recorded by Nat Cole and by Billie Holiday, I think. I learned it from my dear late friend Jack McGann, and at least I first heard it by him. I think I then got earlier recordings, but Well, I make a date for golf, and you can bet your life it rains. I try to have a party, and the guy upstairs complains. I guess I'll go through life just catching colds and missing trains. Everything happens to me. You know I never missed a thing. I've had the measles and the mumps. And when I play an ace at cards, my partner always supersedes me. I guess I'm just a fool who never looks before he jumps. Everything happens to me. At first my heart thought you could end this jinx for me, that love would turn the trick to end despair. But now I just can't fool this head that thinks for me. I've mortgaged all my castles in the air. I've telegraphed and telephoned. I sent an airmail special too. And your answer was goodbye, and there was even postage due. I fell in love just once, and then it had to be with you. Everything happens to me. Well, at first my heart thought you could end this jinx for me. Love would turn the trick to end despair. But now I just can't fool this head that thinks for me. I've mortgaged all my castles in the air. I telegraphed and telephoned. I sent an airmail special too. Your answer was goodbye, and there was even postage due. I fell in love just once, and then it had to be with a creep like you. Everything happens. Everything happens to me. Everything happens to me, with a special chord at the end just for Linda Worcester. So I thank you, as always, for joining me here today. We had a nice crowd, and Mark Steele is here, people checking in late. Helene Tober-Fowler, you can go back and hear Charlie's song, the Flop-Eared Cannonball. And did I miss anybody else here? I think I said hi to most of you. Anyhow, I love you guys, and we really have to stick together, nurture each other, bolster each other. Reggie delivered that message, Reggie Harris, with such authority and compassion Friday night. And we need to just keep on keeping on. He quoted, I think it was a piece, he read a piece by Carrie Newcomer, but he also quoted other stuff. But in one of those, it said, revolution isn't a single act. Revolution is a forward movement. A continual stepping forward, and even when you can't see the goal, you have to keep stepping forward. So, I love you guys. I will sing you a little mantra to see you off. I think I'll do it up here. No, I think I'll do it down here. What do you got? No, I'll make that. So. So be happy and be healthy, be brave and be calm, be kind, it's a snap, and if you get cranky, take a nap. If you get cranky, you know what to do. Have a great rest of the day, folks, and rest of the week till I see you on Wednesday, One Hopes. Bye-bye.